Hey there guys, it's John Rose coming at you today with a video on MAGA history. MAGA has been through a lot. It's not just Trump. It's existed for, you could argue, over a century, and it depends on where you want to start. We could talk and have a lecture about Pat Buchanan. We could talk about the conservative movement under Barry Goldwater. We could go back and talk about Calvin Coolidge if you wanted to really understand. But the principles of American government serving the American people has been tried and true. It has been battered and bruised. It has gone through so much heat, and yet it stands tall. It never faded away. And now we're on the verge of taking over mainstream politics through the Republican Party, which is why I feel it's important to highlight just how widespread these ideas were. I wanted to take a bit more of a fun route, though, and talk about a true American patriot that you can see on screen. His name is Bo Gritz. It rhymes with rights. He was a Green Beret. He's still alive, actually, but a Special Forces commander, absolutely beautiful human being as far as I'm concerned. But he faced a lot of trouble. He had a lot of incompetence within his own party, and he was oppressed by the mainstream. He was put down by the establishment. And I want to show you why, and I want to show you and make you think for a second. As we go down this guy's platform, he ran for president in 1992. I want you to look and see how much his ideas converge with America First and MAGA in general. All right. Bo Gritz, America First Coalition. Vote for Bo. James Bo Gritz for president. We've got one more hill to take. Capitol Hill. Together we'll win. The time is now. Let's take America back from the Republicrats who have brought our nation to the brink of ruin. Help return America to greatness. Return America to greatness. Yeah. Anyways. You can see a bit of his credentials here. I'll link this in a comment or something if you guys want to look at it. It's not that hard to find. It's just on an archive website. But he was a decorated veteran that fell into some bad political allies, but also fell into general oppression, suppression by the mainstream. But let's look at his actual ideas, okay? Look at his ideas. I don't want you guys to worry about the typos. I don't know if the typos are Bo Gritz himself or the person copy-pasting this, but I just want you to connect the ideas and realize that how widespread all of these ideas were and how popular they were. What will Bo Gritz do as president? The following is Bo's contract to all Americans. In return for your support, Bo Gritz will establish debt-free constitutional currency and eliminate the Fed. You see, we're trying to get Jerome Powell to resign right now because the Fed is so much of a problem for us right now. Trump has joked about ending the Fed. The constitutional currency is the recognition that fiat currency hurts American workers. When you sell dollars instead of products to other countries, it harms anyone exporting products out of this country to other countries. And when you make it harder to export products, you hurt American workers that make those products. It's not a complicated formula. I will immediately restate the JFK EO authorizing the print of $450 billion in no-interest United States notes. He wanted to bring back a real currency, not fiat. And so he was going to attack the financial system. This is one of the main ways the DC exploits us and actually just robs the country. So he was on that. Trump is on that. Stop the income tax. Trump campaign during his Trump campaign, he talked about this. Even after getting elected, he talked about we really should move towards eliminating income tax and getting rid of the IRS. Oh goodness. Balance the federal budget. Halt runaway spending by Capitol Hill. End foreign aid and the buyout of America. Foreign aid is nothing more than welfare with no U.S. recipient. Debtors aren't choosers. It must be Americans first until we are out of debt and back on our feet. Why are we sending billions overseas when over 1 million Americans are homeless and even more out of work? Oppose global government and Bush's New World Order. Now, this information should be pretty similar to you, but the entire idea of the New World Order was a little bit different back then. They thought they were going to replace the army with like a UN peace force. Of course, what's happened instead is the world has decided that our army is their army and that we have to give them protection for free. You can see Trump opposing that by forcing NATO members to spend more, by withdrawing troops from Eastern Europe. It's the same concept. Institute workfare in lieu of welfare. This is a beautiful paragraph. America needs a hand up, not a handout. We stop paying farmers not to produce. We stop issuing stamps and instead offer food and opportunity to the truly poor. We enforce immigration laws and quotas. We halt the illegal alien invasion. Are you reading that, chat? We halt the illegal alien invasion. Our own citizens are being denied assistance, education, and work by thousands who sneak across our borders each year. Does this ring a bell at all? Citizenship should not be available to those who evade the INS. Provide for our own instead of outsiders. Defend our borders, but no more world policemen. This is a guy running in 1992 for president, and he has all of these exact ideas. Roll back Big Brother, federal bureaucracy, and legislative statutes that have invaded our privacy. A return to constitutional law will pull the fangs on the FDA and Energy Department so alternative fuels and medical cures can be advanced in the competition with the sacred petrochemical cows. A monetized money system will replace the banker's cashless society. So he's mixing his ideas of, getting back onto a real financial system instead of fiat with his attacks on the FDA and energy. Trump has made several executive orders to get energy going, emergency procedures, so that we can get energy going. It's the best thing for the economy. It's the best thing for goods to go down in price. And the fangs on the FDA, he's talking about the same stuff that MAGA is concerned with. It's absolutely essential. Of course, there are medical cures in many parts of the world that we don't have access to simply because Big Pharma has lobbied for these medicines to not be allowed in the public space. There's no hazard, there's no medical problems, there's no potential side effects. Big Pharma just told Congress, hey, don't allow specific medicines so we can keep making money. So Bo Gritz attacking it back then, MAGA attacking it now. Same thing. Restore states' rights and personal liberty. Now, this sounds more like my road, federalism, but the more you read this, you realize it's actually MAGA still again. We can replace submissive manipulation with motivated learning and competent schools. He's worried about school indoctrination. 750,000 high school graduates last year could not read their diploma. Ronald Reagan promised to eliminate the education department. He didn't, but I will. Bo Gritz wanted to do what Donald Trump is doing right now, eliminate the Department of Education. He wanted school choice. He wanted competition. All of these things. Are you guys starting to see how this guy back then in the 90s had all of these same ideas? And of course, we could be talking about Ross Perot's platform. We could be talking about Pat Buchanan. I just wanted to bring up this guy because nobody does. And I kind of like him. The more I was starting to research him for silly reasons, but I actually kind of like him as a person. Secure the American dream by stopping all farm foreclosures and sponsoring a law that protects the home from government seizure. So that was a little bit more of an issue of the time. See, rescue POWs. Lift the lid on Washington District of Criminals. And expose those guilty of overdosing America for personal gain. National security has become a synonym for cover-up. Reagan didn't know, Bush denied, Casey died, Poindexter lied, Ollie was tried, Noriega fried, all while patriots for profit made millions from the Iran-Contra, Panama, and Gulf War. It's time to stop the Bush lip. Yeah, it's taking a shot at MIC, but mostly at DC, showing that all of this is their plan. The drug crisis, their fault. All of these problems have been perpetuated by the people making money off of the country in DC, and it wasn't hard for people to see even back then. Cut costs and require contributions from federal officials for problem solving. He wanted to bring accountability to elected and appointed officials, not just Congress and the courts, president and the cabinet too. Initiate fully informed jury legislation. Bring back high standards of decency. America is drowning in a sewer of decadence and immorality promoted by liberal and corporate elites that own politicians and run our country. I will renew our pledge as a nation under God. So, when here, Trump does not go as harshly on this because he can't, but he is taking men out of women's sports, and he is pushing against the trans issue in general. It is the same general subject. We are so stuck in self-indulgence and personal identity that we are sacrificing the well-being of our children and of all Americans with their head on their shoulders straight. Much, much more. 200 years ago, our forefathers roared for liberty. Today, people whimper for security. Like a sleeping giant, threads of tyranny are being spun to keep us down. It's Rip Van Winkle time, America. Wake up! We need a second American Revolution. We've got one more hill to take. Capitol Hill. This time, we'll win with ballots instead of bullets. There are 24 million American veterans who took an oath of true faith and allegiance to defend our Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I can't do it alone, but read 2 Kings 6:15 through 17 Bible verse time together as Americans. We will win. Vote Gritz for rights in 92. Or yeah, no, but you get the idea. Here's like his Bill of Gritz. He did 10 Bill of Gritz points. Number 1, America's a Christian nation. The First Amendment allows all people to worship how, when, or what they may. Our statute should reflect unashamed acceptance of Almighty God and His laws. So, two things put together that are held in tension. First Amendment allows people to worship whatever they may. Okay? But let us recognize the Christian roots of our government laws. Everybody who wrote the Constitution, whether 90% of them were Christian, the ones that weren't Christian were universalists or deists that still held on to the same moral values. The Constitution is an inspired document. The checks and balances of the Constitution are timeless in their application. They're designed to protect our republic against tyranny and the carnal nature of man. This we will defend. So true. Amendments contrary to the Constitution shall be rescinded. So he's talking mostly about the 16th Amendment here. I believe he also is against the 17th, but first the 16th Amendment. We got to get rid of that one first. We will balance the federal budget by returning to the Constitution. So true. Laws contrary to the Constitution shall be revoked. So he's discussing potential state laws that are actually being doing executive statutes and state laws. I think, yeah, he talks about it more down here, but he just wants the courts to actually defend the rights of Americans, and he wants these laws to curb against executive statutes. So, Supreme Court power shall be curbed. Congress shall exercise its constitutional right of restricting judicial review, thus eliminating Supreme Court access to states' rights. Education, parent school, criminal rights, abortions, etc. As you guys know, Trump, with the help of the Supreme Court, helped make abortion a state issue, not a federal issue. In accordance with the 10th article of the Bill of Rights, it shall be restored to the states. United States of America shall remain a sovereign nation. Is a very large concept that I'm trying to reemphasize every single time we talk. This is about our sovereignty. The Constitution is our supreme law governing the United States. All treaties or agreements with other nations or entities, such as the UN, and that in any way threaten the sovereignty or self-determination of the USA, shall be declared null and void. We say no to the New World Order. Oh my. National defense shall be strong enough to defeat any aggressor. So this was just his idea. Instead of having a massive army that, towers over the world and tells everybody what to do, we're just going to have enough defense to protect our own borders. Pretty sensible. Foreign aid shall be eliminated. It shall be America first until we're out of debt. Our own needy shall be given a hand up, not a hand out, through workfare, not welfare. So we're helping getting rid of this with USAID right now. It aligns right now with what the administration is doing. But the important thing to point out, until we're out of debt, all of the help that they send to foreign countries is money they're taking out of either your pocket or the pocket of your child or the pocket of your grandchild. Just remember that. When they're spending money that we don't have, that's what they're doing. Foreign buyout of America shall be stopped. Other nations prohibit foreign ownership of their land, so should we. The American home shall be secure from government seizure. So, yep, we're starting working on this with farm bills, getting the Chinese out of our farmland. But yeah, no, in general, the land is ours. It should be ours. We don't need multinational corps and foreign entities owning our properties. Check this one out, guys. Fair trade, not free trade. We shall stop unfair competition with foreign goods and protect American industry. Look at that. Fair trade, not free trade. Where have we heard this? We will stop subsidizing American industry going offshore and taking American jobs with them. We will bring our steel mills back online, renew our manufacturing industries, protect our borders, just as Japan and other foreign countries do. Did you notice something interesting? We all understood. You don't have to be a genius, you don't have to know economics, but you can look at other countries and know, oh, look, they're able to strategically protect industries that are important to the prosperity of their citizens, their middle class. And other countries are able to just naturally do this. But we, because of complicated jargon, because of economic theory in books, we're not allowed to do the same thing. Well, as you guys can see by the letters Trump's putting out today, most countries that haven't made a deal with us getting 25-30% tariffs, fellas. So we are taking back our country in that way. Americans will have jobs and a high standard of living just as we used to before Bush issued the New World Order. We will do what is best for Americans, and other countries cannot react accordingly. Vote rights for rights in 92. Here's like the end jargon. Bo is a true American patriot who is serious about protecting our nation, restoring states' rights, rejecting global government, and safeguarding personal liberty. A return to constitutional government is our best security for America's future. America's on the brink of disaster, but can be saved by genuine patriots. America's on the brink of disaster, but we can be saved by genuine patriots like you, taking heroic action. Support Bo Gritz. Bo Gritz. I keep wanting to say grits because, we eat grits in the South. Bo Gritz for president in 92. Yeah. So this is what he wanted to do. He's trying to ask for help. Will you give your time and talent? Bo Gritz, National Campaign Committee, donate. Yeah. So this was his platform. This is the fellow's platform. There were some typos in there. But I hope you guys understand, beyond even the normal rhetoric, there were so many people who understood what needed to be done. The principles, the values, the things that we're fighting for at the core of MAGA are so easy to see. They have been around for well over a century. It's common sense, and it deserves to be the center of all politics. And both parties should be judged according to how well they serve the American citizen, the nation, over the foreigner. Because we pay the taxes, we made the government, to represent us, not them. That is the only way we will continue to function as a country. And it just makes so much sense. And I want you guys to be encouraged. I don't want you guys to be discouraged by, the sad parts of this guy's particular story. He ended up, by some idiots, getting paired with a very bad guy for presidential ticket. He dropped out 2 days after knowing they were trying to pair them together, because he heard it, and I was like, wait, what does this guy support? It was one of the bad guys. One of the bad guys with the funny white costumes. But yeah, beyond that, Ross Perot, Pat Buchanan, even Donald Trump and the Reform Party to an extent, and all of these people, they understood what needed to happen. They were being blocked out by Republicans who bizarrely capitulated to Democrats. They didn't understand back then. They don't understand now. But this next year, midterms, going into the future elections, we have a chance to take so many Senate seats, so many House seats, and take the presidency once more with Donald Trump's successor in 28. We can make MAGA politics, America First principles, the core of politics once again. With your help, you have to go out and actually tell people, hey, you should advocate policies that help the citizen, not the foreigner. Sounds pretty common sense, right? But you have to get into it. You have to get into the nitty gritty. You have to explain to them why all of these things make so much more sense than throwing our money away to tin pot dictators across the world, to fake foreign aid, to all of this nonsense that we've been put through. So, anyways, guys, that's everything I had to say. I hope all of you take courage in the fact that we're so right about this, that the truth could not be destroyed, no matter how long it took for us to get here. So, God be with you in all of your days. God bless you in all of your days. God speed to every American patriot listening. Godspeed to all of you.